For today's video, I'm going to show you how to drape a plunge spaghetti strap dress. Before we begin, we need to prep our muslin. So at the selvage of the muslin, you want to make sure that 1 inch away from that you make a straight line. And then the next step would be to mark 4 inches down from the top of the selvage mark. And my fabric is about 20 by 22. It can be a little shorter than that. Now before we begin, we want to take our draping tape. And by the way, guys, I have this on my Amazon store, so make sure to check the link down below if you would like to purchase. So now I'm just placing the draping tape on my dress form to figure out how I want my dress bodice to be. Next, I'm working on the bottom waist part of my dress. This is actually going to be the waistband for the dress that I am making. So when you're done, it should look just like this. Now I'm going to take my muslin and I am placing it right below the neckline and pinning everything down. Now you want to smooth it over to the left hand side or whatever side that you're working on, and just to ease up the fabric to give it more of a smooth effect, we're just going to cut at the bottom and you can see the difference. Now that it's smooth, I am marking all my lines where the draping tape is at, and this is actually going to be the first piece for my dress. And you want to continue marking on the muslin. Next, we want to do the other side. So you can see that this dress has a princess seam. So I'm starting in the middle and I'm taking the same steps that I did in the last piece. I cut the bottom to kind of ease, make it smooth, and now I'm marking my lines and using the draping tape as a guide. The next step is to mark for my waistband. Now I put my muslin on the center front and now I'm making my markings. Now it's time to take our piece and start adding the seam allowance, and also clean up any edges that we feel that needs to be fixed. If you have a curved ruler, that will be very helpful. But for now, I'm taking my straight edge and I'm adding in a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And I'm going to do that for every piece. Next, I am going to take my pieces and pin them together, because I want to test it out on my dress form to make sure that it has a proper fit. And you want to make sure that you place the pattern pieces and that they match. Next, I'm cutting out my waistband, and now I'm trying to see how long I want my spaghetti strap to be. So now I'm just taking my measuring tape on the dress form and making note of that mark. Now as you can see, I already have everything kind of pinned together. For my bottom portion of my dress, I was just testing it out to see if I wanted to do pleats. So you can see here I got some wild crazy pleats going on at the bottom, but you don't have to do pleats. And also you can see the waistband that I have here, I cut it on the fold. If you don't want to do pleats, you can do a circle skirt. So here's a website called By Hand London, which allows you to basically put in your waist measurement, and then you can pick full circle skirt if you want it to be full, and also the length that you want it to be, and then it'll give you the radius for the circle skirt without you having to do the math. So I did a piece with a circle skirt with the actual fabric that I have, and you can kind of see I pinned it on top. So this is like pretty much a full circle skirt, giving me a nice flare, and that is pretty much it. So I plan to do a part 2 with me actually showing you guys how I cut out my fabric and sew it together so that you can see the finished look for 2 garments I'm working on using this pattern. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week for a new video.